back to the channel. My name is Maddison and this is my little corner of the internet where I talk about all of my crafts that I've been working on each month. I am coming to you from a very sunny Glasgow in Scotland. I have been here since August of 2024 because I moved up with my husband from Essex. So yeah, here I am, and I have a nice bright pink wall in my craft space, but it seems to be very much full of stuff at the moment, which I need to sort out. Anyway, you can find me over on Instagram at the House of Langford and Overall Sews. I'm also on Ravelry as Mad X Stitcher. There is a Discord group. I have a Patreon now this year, and there is a Ko-fi account if you wanted to donate anonymously as well. So I think that's all the admin stuff. There's also a Facebook page and a group. I think that's everything. So on this channel I like to talk about all of my different crafts, and to be honest, most of that is actually crochet, but I do have things like sewing projects and cross stitch as well. And I have started to include more knitting into my works in progress, which you'll see today. So it is now, what is it, the 3rd of April? So it is time to wrap up what I got up to in March. So if you are new here, then hi, hello, you are very welcome. If you are returning, then hi, welcome back. And yeah, it has been a very busy month. We started the month with EAYF, so East Anglia Yarn Festival was in the middle of the month, and I set myself the target of making a shawl in a week, which I did. So to start off with then, I like to set myself goals or plans each month. It gives me something to kind of work towards or try and achieve. Doesn't always happen, but it does give me something to try and focus on. So I have my notebook filled with all of my notes for today. I have so much to show you because I have so many whips at the moment. So many whips. But yeah, my plans for March were to finish the Magnus Cardigan because I wanted to wear it to EAYF, and that's what this is. I wanted to make a Rainforest retreat shawl as a sample for Gem of the Little Grey Girl, also for EAYF because I wanted to give it to Gem at the show. And I did that, but because I don't have it anymore, you're going to have to see a picture later. And the other two things were that I wanted to finish off Mei the Cobra, which is a top subscription box, and to make Froggo's outfit for March, which I haven't done those two. So I've done 2 out of my 4 goals for March. So let's jump straight into my finishes then for the month. And as I've already said, the first finish I have is actually the Rainforest retreat shawl. Now I have now made 4 of this shawl, and I was asked by Gem from the Little Grey Girl to make a sample for her using 5 skeins of high twist DK in the colour gradient C4. And this is the finished result. I managed to finish it in a week. I started on the Monday and I finished it the following Monday, and then P kindly wove in all the ends for me whilst we were getting ready for the big stitch night for the yarn show. So I love this pattern. It is actually designed for 4-ply. It's designed to be used with a Shapiez wool. And my previous ones have all been done in Cotton Soft DK from King Cole. So it was really nice to do this one using hand-dyed yarn, and I absolutely love it. I did have about just over half of a skein left over in terms of grammage, like weight left over from all 5 skeins together. But it is just such a lovely shawl, and P did mention P started one since the show and called it a hug basically. The shawl is so big, it is like wrapping yourself up in a big hug, and I absolutely love it. So you'll be able to find that on the Little Grey Girl stands in the future. It has already popped up in a few podcasts or vlogs from the show, which is really nice to see as well. So that is finish number 1 for March. And that pattern is by Lisa Cook, who is Lisa's Attic. I think she's got quite a few patterns, but I have this one from Ravelry, I think, and it's just a really super easy, because once you get past that first section of lace, you kind of recognize your work and you know which row you're supposed to be doing to continue the pattern. And then it's broken up into 5 different sections. Yeah, I had to think then. 5 different sections. So it's really nice to do that in 5 different colours. But because of the meterage and the hand dyed, I had to sort of graduate it a bit more. But I really enjoyed the finished result. And Jem did too. So the next finish is what I am wearing. That is my Magnus cardigan. This is by Meghan Makes DO. And I have used Deramores Anti-pilling Aran from my stash, because I have quite a lot of Deramores yarn. And I have used, the dark grey is Juniper. Then the pink is Azalea. The silver is called Pewter. The purple is Aster. And then the blue is Cyan. So it is a really nice, super easy cardigan. You start with your ribbon at the bottom. Then you do your trebles here. And then you break them up. So you've got clusters of 3 trebles, and then on the next row you've got a double crochet, chain and double crochet to make them into 3 clusters, and then your next row you just put the trebles into the chain space, and it creates like a brick pattern. Seriously, it's super fast, super quick. Making the panels was actually super fast. It was making the sleeves. I think I did the sleeves in a couple of days, and I've actually altered the sleeve pattern, because I think I got to like here and thought, well, that's not going to fit my arm further up. So I added 2 extra clusters into one of the rounds, and that sort of increased it a bit more, so I've got a bit more circumference, and actually there's now extra room in there, which I really like. So it's nice and warm. This is actually an acrylic yarn, but it is super warm, and I really enjoyed working it. I think if I was going to make another one, I would try and use the Starcraft Aran with wool, because just for a 1 colour project, I think I actually ended up using 1 ball of each colour. I don't think I had 2 balls. I had loads of this yarn, but I don't think I used 2 balls of each colour. I maybe used just under 2 balls maybe. I did have to dip into the second ball for the dark grey, and I think I dipped into a second ball for the pewter, but I can't remember. I have to check my Ravelry notes. Everything that I talk about in the episode goes into the description box below, and all of my projects actually have Ravelry project pages. So if you do want to know any of the details and all the numbers, it's all over there, because we have a word limit in the description box. But it's so easy to do. You do the full circumference that you need. You work up to the underarm, then you split, you work the 2 fronts, and you work the back, then join at the shoulders, make your 2 sleeves and join those in. So it becomes like, is this called a dropped shoulder? It must be, because it's down on my arm. Yeah. So there's that. And this was the crochet pattern for EAYF this year, because every year we like to do, Laura likes to do a make along. So there is one knit pattern and one crochet pattern, so that you can join in and you can gain a ribbon. I don't know where I've put my ribbon for this year. Yeah. The other change that I did is actually the collar. This is supposed to be double crochet all the way around, and then you work back loop back loop slip stitches for a few rows, and I just didn't like it and I wanted it to match. So I did what did I do? I chained 9, I think this is 8 stitches across. It will be on this side. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So I must have chained 8. I did one row of double crochet all the way around, from this side round to this side, and then I chained 8 and I did double crochet in the back loop only coming back. And then what I did was slip stitch into 2 of the double crochets that I had on here, and then worked back loop out, back loop back, slip stitch 2, back loop out, back loop back, and I just kept going across, up and down, all the way around. And I have even added in some buttonholes. It took me a couple of tries to get this. I've got 5 buttonholes, and I wanted to try and find some buttons at the show. I didn't end up buying any, but I did find the perfect colours at Ethel and Joan. But the buttons she had at the time were a lot smaller than I needed. So we found a button that was the right size, and I need to put in an order, a custom order, to get the bigger buttons in the same colouring. So it's all going to match, and it's going to be really, really nice to finish it off. This, I mean, it does meet. It probably shouldn't. But I'm hoping that after I've lost a little bit of weight, this will do up quite nicely. Even if the buttons just become a feature, that's fine. But the option is there for when it fits a bit looser. But I mean, it fits me absolutely fine now, and I do love it. It keeps me nice and toasty, and it just takes the edge off the cold up here as well when I'm sitting indoors. So that's quite nice too. But yeah, that is my Magnus cardigan finished. And for my last finish of March, they have been in the screen the whole time. I have finally finished an Imaginist's creation. So I get the Imaginist subscription box from Toft each quarter. I haven't done the last one though, the one with orange and I think it was a cocoa or chest, I can't remember what colours, but it's orange and then like a dark brown. I did have an idea for that, but time just whizzed by and I just did not find the time to actually do it. But this one, I figured I would get it done in March and see what comes of it. So I immediately had the idea to make a giant button. So this was the first thing that I made for this little make, and once I'd finished the button, I then made the body. So I used the standard body, all in the cream, because you get 4 colours in this. We got the cream, 2 balls of the cream, 1 ball each of the pink, yellow and blue. And I have created Miss Button Lena. Now, as with all of my other Toft subscription boxes, she will get her own video, so do look out for that. So I won't go into loads of detail here, but I wanted to do something that was kind of like haberdashery based, hence the big button. So I started with the big button. I wanted to add some patches and maybe some more buttons to her. And then she kind of just developed. So I added these ruffles on the arms and then on the legs as well. And then I thought, oh, she needs some hair. So I made this really lovely ringlet piece as hair. And then I wasn't happy with my patches and thought that it looked a bit boring just with the patches and a couple of odd buttons here and there. So I made the dress. And I have 10% of all of the yarn still left. I was very much close to not having 10% of the cream and the pink. Everything else I have a little bit more left over, but I just could not resist doing this little sweetheart neckline on the dress and all the ruffles. It's the ruffles that took up lots of yarn and the ringlets. These are so simple. You may remember from, I think it was, what did I call her? Azalea? She's got like a jellyfish bonnet and the ringlets are exactly the same. You just chain and then you double crochet all the way back and they twist on their own. Some of these did need a bit of like encouragement, but I really love how she turned out. So yeah, this is my Toft Imaginists subscription box make for box number 21. She's rather cute. And that is it for all of my finishes. So that means it is time to move on to my whips. And as I said earlier, there are actually quite a lot. Let me double check how many. 7. I have 7 whips on the go. Yeah. One is the weekly Granny Square challenge though. I am now up to square 11. This weekend I need to do square 12 ready for next week. And I need to start getting myself ahead again because I've lost so much time in the last few weeks from starting my new job. So it's been a bit of a month, to be fair. And April seems to have started rather horrendously for me, which I'll come on to later, I think, if I remember. But if you're on Instagram and you've seen my stories, yesterday was not a good day for me. Yeah. Anyway, so I have 7 whips. The Granny Square challenge, I do class it as a whip, but it is a year-long whip because I'm trying to do all of the squares from the Granny Square card deck by Claire Montgomery. And I will continue to do that every week. There is a video for each week on YouTube, and we'll just continue with that. I'm trying to use scrap yarn up for it, so I don't actually have any weights of specific colours. I think I'm just going to weigh it all at the end to say that I have used so much grammage of DK yarn, because I think it would take me quite some time to work out the meterage or the grammage for every single colour I've used. But there we go. So what can I show you then for my whips? We're going to start off with quite a large whip. And that is my Granny Square blanket, which is living in my Made by Penguins bag. I have had this for so long now. I think I got it at Waltham Abbey Wool Show. And I want to say pre-lockdown as well. Yep. In here is actually 2 whips. So let's start with the one that's on top. And that is actually Froggo's March outfit, which I ended up buying because the pattern is written for Aran yarn. And I don't have any Aran yarn except for a very giant ball of Aran with wool in yellows or orange that were suitable for a daffodil. So I have this one, which is Starcraft Special Aran, and then this one, which is Wendy Supreme Aran, and that's going to be my daffodil bonnet. But this is all I have managed to do, which I think is actually the base. So this bit sits on the back of his head and this bit goes around the front. And I need to actually check before I continue whether it all go on Froggo. If you've seen the EAYF vlogs, you all know that Froggo collected quite a few badges over the weekend. I forgot to put on Laura's one though. But he'll be decked out soon. I might have to make him like a little brownie badge sash to put all the badges on. That's an idea. So this is meant to go over his head. And I think it's too big, based on my tension. Yeah, I think that's massive for him, because I don't think it's supposed to be that far back. I think it's supposed to be quite snug. I'll make it up anyway, just like I've done 2 of the Valentine's jumpers, because one was way too big. I will make this up and see how I go. So you may end up with 2. But that means I could make a larger Froggo. And then I've already got outfits ready for larger Froggo. Yeah. So I'm making his daffodil outfit, his daffodil bonnet, and I have the base. Because things have just got in the way this month. But there we go. So let's move on to the Granny Square blanket. Now I don't actually know if this is going to fit in camera. I have deliberately moved the camera back today so that I could try and get things in view better. Yeah, it is just a granny square. I am using King Cole Cherished DK, and what I have found is that I have a local yarn store that does stock King Cole, but they don't stock everything because the shop is tiny. And they didn't have, because I need 2 more rounds of lemon to finish off my colour sequence, because I started with white, peach, green, or white, peach, mint, and then lemon. So I need to do 2 more rounds of lemon to finish, and I have 30 grams left, which, based on the last round of the mint, is only 2 sides. So I've had to get some more, but I didn't get that until Tuesday I went and got that. So I'm glad I got it Tuesday, because my car broke down yesterday. Yep. So I have 2 rounds left of lemon, and that is going to be it. It's quite large. I mean, it covers me pretty well. And that's who it's for. It's for me. Just because I wanted to make it. I love these colours. And I have the variegated colourway, which I think is called Spearmint. It is indeed Spearmint. And this is the Cherish DK. So the variegated ones are Cherish. The solids are Cherished. And it has all the colours in it. But I tried alternating this and the colours, and there wasn't enough. The breaks between colours were too long in the variegated, so it didn't look like there was a difference. So I'm going to use this as a border. I have 2 of these just in case. And that's what I'm going to do. So you can see it's meant to stripe if you knit it. It doesn't quite look like that when you crochet it, but that's okay. So yeah, I'm going to do 2 rounds of the lemon and then try and work up a border using this. I'm going to do at least 1 round of the granny stitch using this and then try and work up a border. I feel like I want to do scallops, but I don't know if I'm going to have enough stitches to do that. So we will see. But that is that one. If you've been here a while, you will know this has been a long-standing whip. And I can't remember when I started it, actually. It's at least a year old, if not 2. But I love this yarn so much. It's so soft, so squishy. It is perfect for babies, and that's another reason why I decided to make it for me, because it's nice and soft and squishy. And that's that one. So there is no pattern for this. It is literally just a granny square. I am turning every round, so you can see that my stitches are front, back, front, back. And that's what I've been doing to keep it nice and square, and that is working for me. So I'm really looking forward to having that finished. Now that I've got my 2 boards of lemon, I can get those rounds done. And now that I have filmed, I can go do that. So that is going straight to the door, so that I know to take that back downstairs with me and continue. And I'm just working that up in a 4mm hook, and it's super easy. And actually, those are the only crochet projects I have for March that are still whips. I have 3 knitting projects to show you. So shall we start with my Christmas socks, which is using the West Yorkshire Spinners gingerbread colourway, which I think we worked out came out in 2022 for Christmas. So I started these the year the yarn came out at Christmas. And I have been having my friends help me to do each step of the sock. And I have now finished the heel flap. I had trouble with it because I had a stitch in the red that I had somehow missed when doing a purl row. And I can tell where my friends have had to help me because they knit differently to me. But there we go. So I have finished the heel flap now. I need someone to help me do the heel turn, which I might try and do tonight. I've got craft club tonight. I may have to borrow Ralph's car though. Ralph is my husband, because normally I drive on a Thursday night. I go to craft club, he goes to karate. Oh well. So that's where we're at. So I've got the heel flap in. It is just a vanilla sock. I am following the pattern I got when I started this as it was meant to be, I think, either 3 weeks or 3 months, like learn how to make socks thing at the shop. There's no date on the pattern, but it's a vanilla sock pattern. I think this is from Gemma of the Midnight Diary, who I think is now Gemma's Devon Diaries on YouTube. I don't know if Gemma has changed her YouTube name. So that's my sock. And it's in this really cute DPN holder because I found that I can loop my cable needles. Cable needle? No. My needles with circular, there we go, circular needles in there, and it holds everything nice and tidy. This is, I think his name's Martin. I can never remember his name, but I picked that up from, he's a weaver. This is actually West Yorkshire Spinners yarn that he's woven into a fabric, and then he makes things up with it like scarves and DPN holders and bags and things like that, which is really cool. So that is my gingerbread socks. That is still sock 1, but it is there. This is a little grey girl bag in the pandas. It's got a handle, and I have a little grey girl tag as well, which says knitting, so I know what's in the bag. Not that I need to be reminded, because I know exactly what is in that bag. So that's my socks, or rather sock 1. Then I have a hat that I started. I attended a Knit in the Round workshop or class at the Yarn Cake the same week that I went to EAYF, and I have started my Pandemonium hat, which is a pattern by Karen Michelle, who is I Knit to Purl To. It's colour work, it's in the round, and I consider myself to still be a baby knitter. But I have done some of the ribbon, and I am using, so I should have mentioned, in the socks I'm using Magic Loop. I don't know what needle size though. I think it's 3.25, maybe 2 point something. Let's double check. 2.5. They are Knit Pro Zings for my socks. And for my hat, I bought a pair of 16-inch circulars in 4mm, and these are the Knit Pro Symphonies. So they have the rainbow wood, and they're so pretty. So pretty. So I've done some of the ribbon. I mean, I don't understand how I'm going to understand, but it looks so tiny. How does that fit on your head? So that is the start of my pandemonium hat. I don't actually know how far I am, but I'm using Stylecraft Special DK. And I think this one is, what colour is this? I'm not going to be able to find my, I don't know where my yarn tags are. Somewhere stuffed in the middle of the ball. But I have all 4 colours in there that I need. This is a Me Made bag. I feel a bit chaotic today. This is a Me Made bag. It is a retreat bag. And there's a metal frame in it, which means it stays open. And I really want to make more of these. There's also pockets inside, which is super fun. I just wanted to check where I am in the pattern because I don't think I'm very far. I don't know how many rows of ribbon I need to do. I have done 6 rounds of ribbon and I need to do 24. I need to, because I think it folds up. It's a folded brim. Yeah. So I need to do 24 rows or 24 rounds and I have done 6. Now I did actually start by doing, did I? No, I didn't. I was going to do it flat and then join it. And in the end, clearly I didn't. Or maybe I've done 2 rounds. I don't know. I mean, there's my join. I don't know if I think I started flat and then went in the round, but my stitching doesn't look like that. Maybe 2 rounds? I think it's 2 rounds. Yeah, this is my journey into knitting, everybody. Join me. Now, I have knit before. You've seen that I've knit before. I've made 2 scarves which use different patterns in them, which become an infinity scarf. I'm sure there's something else that I've knit as well. I made a cushion. But this is my first real go at reading like a bit of a more complicated pattern in a way, or trying learning new things. The idea for me is to learn new things with my knitting. So for the sock, I'm learning how to make a sock, all the different bits of the sock. For this hat, I'm using 16-inch circulars, and I need to learn how to do colour work. My next project then is another knitting project. It is in last year's EAYF mini bag with my folk yarn badges because I needed somewhere to store them. And I am making the litmus cow using Game of Thrones minis that I picked up from Laura of the Lonely Knitter, who is also Folk Yarn Studio and the director of EAYF. And I picked these up at, I think I picked them up at Glasgow School of Yarn. Not last year, the year before. So 2 years, I think I've had, nearly 2 years. Just over a year. I've had these. This is only 4. I have 6 minis. And I have a skein of Hold the Door as well. So they're all on her tweed base. And I'm doing a litmus cow, which is a pattern by Jude Harper, who is, or was, Stranded Dye Works. So I have those. I need to wind up my next one. And you'll see why in a minute. But because this is so simple, I'm just knitting round and round and round. I have actually put in 2 of my minis. So I'm following the pattern. I'm doing 10 rounds of each colour, which actually works out at 11 rounds each colour, because I'm not counting the one on the needles. But I am now at a point where I need to join the next colour, which means I need to wind up the ball, because I have wound up the previous 2 into balls. See? So I need to wind up the next one and get that ready to go. And my needle stoppers are from Quack Yarn. They are little axolotls, nice and pink. And then I have a yarn ball stitch marker, which is from Yarnistry, and it is sparkly on the other side. So pretty. So yeah, I've put in 2 of my colours, and I have 3 stripes of the Hold the Door, and I'm just going to repeat. So every 10 rounds, I change colour. And I keep going until I run out of yarn, effectively. So that's going to be good. But it's... For this one, I'm actually carrying the hold the door. So I don't have to cut and tie off or weave in the ends for that. I did start weaving in the ends for the green. So this one I've woven in a little bit. And I'm just doing it the way that I think it should be done. So I'm going up and down my stitches. But I didn't carry the yarn very well on that one. And this one seems really tight. So I might do every other stitch. That was the plan originally and it didn't. I kept forgetting. But yeah, that is my litmus cow. I'm going to take that with me tomorrow because I'm going to end up on lots of trains tomorrow. As much as I didn't want to because I wanted to drive. But that is no longer possible. So yes, again, 6mm, no, not 6mm, 16-inch fixed circular. So I'm using a 3.5. These are also Knit Pro. Are these Zing as well? Yep, these are Zing ones as well. And there's a kink in my cable where it joins here. I don't know why. Don't remember there being a kink like that. Oh well, we will keep knitting. So I need to wind up a couple more of the minis so I can work on that on the train tomorrow because that's nice and easy. Just going round and round and round. So there's that one. And the last whip I have is in this bag. I need to wash this bag though because I had to squish a spider with it the other day. He's there because he was trying to run all over my stuff downstairs. In here is my Care Bear cross stitch. Let me tidy up the, because it gets all loose when I'm not using it. So I have to re-stretch the fabric so that you can see it properly. That's better. There we go. So this is my Care Bear. I think the last time you saw it, I had parts of this done, but I had to pull out quite a lot of this colour because it was a stitch out and the heart was in the wrong place. So I had to pull quite a lot of it out and redo it and frog it and yeah. But I have actually done all the white as well. You can't see it because it's white on white. But I have done all the white on his belly too. There is a hand that goes here and then there is writing top and bottom. It's coming along quite nicely. I just don't work on it as often as I probably should. I reckon a few days of actual like monogamous stitching would get that done. So that is my cute Care Bear. I have done a few of these already. I'm trying to work my way through all the kits that I have. This one was started in 2011. But it's getting some work done, so that is all that matters. So that's my cross stitch, and that is actually the last of my whips. So whips are works in progress, and that is the last one. I thought that I had worked on Mei, I don't know how to pronounce it, the Cobra, but I don't think I have. So I won't show you the Cobra today. Hopefully she'll be finished for next month. But lastly then, we have some acquisitions and then we have my plans for April. Now firstly, we have what I got at EAYF, East Anglia Yarn Festival. And that is its own video. So I will not go into it here because there is a lot. So do head over to that video if you want to see what I got at the show. If you want to see how the show was and see some of the vendors, there is also a vlog. And Froggo has his own vlog as well, which became more of a where's Froggo video because we decided to just try and hide him in a lot of the stalls. But there we go. And so I don't actually have a lot to show you. I have some Animal Crossing yarn from Wild Magic Yarn. Now you may remember I received a sock set in February, which was January's colourway, for is it Celeste, the first one? Yeah. So this is the sock set that I received in February, which was Celeste based. So the character from Animal Crossing. This is not what I ordered though, because I prefer to work in DK. So I think it's Charlotte. She said that I could keep that one and she would send me my correct order. So this is what I received in February. And I have since received the DK version, which has all the same colours. It's so much fun. And then this one is Carnival or Festival, who is a peacock. Look at all those colours. Look at it down here. It is awesome. And with that, we also get 2 stitch markers. So these are like little peacock feathers. Super sparkly. And we've got a couple of stickers as well. So that's my Animal Crossing yarn, which I'm absolutely loving. And actually this week, the next one arrived this week, and I love that as well. So I'm going to pop them all in here, which is a bag from Kalok Shek Ellen, who is Mrs. Lamb's Yarns. She also makes bags. So all of my Animal Crossing are going in there, so I know they're all together. I also have D&D inspired yarn, which I don't know where it is, so I'll have to find that in a minute. I found it. So this is from Dyed in the Wool, and I have the first 3 because they very kindly made up the first 2 for me, because I hadn't found them until it was too late. So I have the first 3 skeins. I'm getting them all on DK. So this one is the Ranger. That's Dyed in the Wool. And they are 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. So 225 grams is 100 meters. So we have the Ranger. We have the Cleric with a neon yellow. Yep. And then this one is the Sorcerer in the purple. And I think I've ordered, one of them is Wizard and one of them is Warlock. One of them is last month's and one of them is next month's, because you order in advance. I need to order the newest one. I can't remember which order they're in, but one of them is the Wizard and one of them is Warlock. So I've got 2 more that I need to order. Or I've ordered one. I need to order the next one. So that'll give me 5. I've got to put all of these in one project. So I think I'm going to end up with 12, because it's 1 a month. So there's that one. I also have the latest edition from Blue Fern Yarns, which is in the Gods and Goddesses, what's it called, series. So this is Artemis, and that's going to go with the others that I have. This is Classic Sock. It is 75% superwash merino and 20% nylon. So I have 50 grams and then 20 grams. So I'm getting like mini sock sets from Blue Fern Yarns for this one. So I need to find the others and put those together. I need to start labeling stuff as to where I'm putting things. I'll find it in a minute. And then I also have the latest centralizer subscription from Toft. And this one is a cute little bunny. I don't know if I showed you the last one, which was the giraffe, but this one is the bunny. And I've been putting them all together in my Toft subscription bag. So they're all in one place. Talking of Toft, the latest Birds book arrived. This is the upgraded version. This is hardback. It has all the new colours of yarn in it. There are updated patterns and there are a couple of new ones as well. So I pre-ordered the hard copy last year. They are now selling the paperback copy. And this one comes with a patch. Sophia the Flamingo. So that is really sweet. And as always, we get a couple of mini patterns and a leaflet of some sort. So that all goes together. I left it all in there. And these are all signed as well. So if you order a book from Toft, you can get them signed. You just have to write in the description. But these all came signed. And Kerry has actually signed pretty much most of my books. I just have the magazine style ones that I haven't had signed. And I'm sure there's a couple more as well. But that is the latest book for my collection. Very nice. I also bought those 2 balls of Aran from the Wee Crafty Owl in Greenock. That was like towards the beginning of the month. I haven't actually been back since I bought them because I've had other things going on. But this is yarn from Pixie Yarn. I ordered this after EAYF. I was really sad that I didn't buy it at EAYF. And then I spotted some of her yarns on some other people's vlogs of the show. And I then went and bought it. So this is what I was going for. It's this really lovely gradient. So you've got bright pink on one end and like a creamy yellow on the other. It is so pretty. So they are in DK. So there are 6 20-gram skeins. It is merino and nylon 75-25. And because I saw it in the shop, this is a really nice like deep purpley pink. It is pink, but it's like got purple tones in there. And that is on 4-ply. And I thought I could make something really nice with that. So that's my little order from Sophie of Pixie Yarn. And finally, do you remember those giant balls of yarn that I bought from Lidl? Is it Lidl or Aldi? I think it was Aldi. A little while ago. Well, I'm really worried that I don't have enough. And I went to a different Aldi recently and they still had some in stock. So I picked up another grey and another caramel. And they had one pink left over, but it was in so much of a tangle. I spent a little while winding it up into a giant ball. So I have one of each colour again, just to give me a little bit more of leeway, I guess. Because I haven't really chosen which colour I want as the main colour and which are going to be all of the contrast. So it just gives me a bit more option. I think I have a blue as well. Yeah, they didn't have any blue, but that's okay. That will be my darkest colour, I think, in the pattern. So I'm going to make the Mexican blanket with those, which is knitting and it is colour work. So ideally, that should be a better introduction to colour work than the pandas, but there we go. That's what we're doing. And that's everything, I think. I have probably missed something, but I don't know what, so I can't tell you. Right, my plans then for April. I'll put my notebook down here. I want to finish off that granny square blanket because I'm so close now. I just need to do 2 more rounds on the lemon and then do the border. And I can tick that off, and it will also tick it off of my bingo board, which is from... So it's the Bingo Crafting Challenge run by Helen of Giddy Yarns, who is Giddy Knits on YouTube. And there is a whole thread in her Discord group on people ticking off these 9 boxes on their bingo square. And I want to make Queen Nefertiti as part of the unofficial dole along run by Martin of Knit 365. And then I want to finish my Mei the Cobra and finish Froggo's March outfit, which is the daffodil bonnet. And today, Bex released the April one. So I need to download that as well today. But that is everything I have for you in terms of my crafty stuff. So a little bit on life update, I guess. As I said, I started a new job in March and it has kind of been putting a strain on me. And last week I had to do like a 7 a.m. start, which means getting up at 6. Unfortunately, it was a Friday, which is Ralph's longest day of the week. And Ralph is a very light sleeper. So when I'm up, he's up. And he works with chemicals and heavy machinery. And if he's tired, that makes it dangerous for him to work. So I need to speak with my job and say, I cannot do 7 a.m. starts because I would rather keep my husband than earn £14 an hour for us starting at 7 a.m. But there we go. So that's work. However, yesterday my car broke down whilst I was trying to go between 2 visits on my job, and I was also avoiding a collision on the motorway, and I broke down somewhere I've never been before. And this is where this week my mental health has pretty much plummeted, because I spent 7 hours on the side of the road yesterday waiting for a recovery vehicle to tow me to my local garage. I was on my own in an area that I don't know. It was really hot. I had no power to my car, which means I couldn't put the aircon on. And whilst sitting there with the hazards on for 7 hours, the battery died. So even though I had opened up one of my windows to get some air in, and I was constantly having to open the door to get a draft in and close it again, because I felt like I didn't feel comfortable having the door open all the time. Yeah, I then couldn't do the window back up. So that was pretty much not a great day yesterday. And I had so much to do, and I lost out on 3 hours worth of work. I had plans for today and plans for yesterday, which I can no longer do because I don't have access to my car because it is still at the garage. And they are not likely to get to start fixing it until tomorrow morning because the battery is dead and they've had to sit it on charge all day to find out what's wrong with it. And I am supposed to be in Edinburgh tomorrow, so I was going to drive to the park and ride and get the tram in, because that is it's easier on my body that way, because our local train station, the platform to go into the city is closed, and for my husband it takes him 20 minutes to walk to the next station along. For me it's more like half an hour, because I'm not very fast at walking. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to travelling tomorrow, but it does give me time for knitting tomorrow. I'm also meant to be teaching on Saturday, but I don't have my car now, which is great fun. And then I have a couple of shifts for work on Sunday again, which I need my car for. Yeah, I'm not having the greatest of weeks, let's be honest. So I've had a bit of a cry today because I wanted to go to the Knit and Natter at Greenock, because I haven't been for what feels like forever. And I just needed to speak to other people. I needed to see other people that are interested in the same things I am and not have to worry about anything else for a little while. But that hasn't happened today. So I've been at home. I also got turned down I applied for Juniper. I don't know if anybody knows what that is. The advert keeps popping up on YouTube for me all the time. It is a weight loss treatment because my weight is now affecting my mental health quite considerably. So I thought I would try something different. And they have said that I can't go on it because my mental health is unstable. Great. Which just makes my mental health worse, surely. Yeah, I feel like I can't do anything right at the minute. I have no motivation. And I am at a point now where I hate the way I look. I hate the way I feel. I hate how unhealthy I am. And I want to try and do something about that. But I don't have the motivation. Let's be honest. When I'm at home, I'm bored. So I want to sit down, have a cup of tea, have some biscuits, have chocolate, have sweets. I don't want to cook proper meals. What else is there to talk about? So in March we had EAYF. I had a couple of blips in March as well in terms of my mental health. There were just a few days where I just didn't want to do anything. I could have gone to the Thursday night craft club that Kirsty from Grenade Creations runs in Paisley, which is down the road from me, but I didn't feel up to it. I had a really low day and I had the 7 AM start the day after, so I didn't really feel like going out in the evening because I need to get up early, but I'm also not sleeping. Sorry to put a downer on the end of this episode because it's been so what's the word I'm looking for? Positive and chirpy with all my makes and what I've been up to, but I'm just not feeling it at the minute and I am struggling. So I try to be as honest as I can here, and that's me. So anyway, we have a friend coming to stay. I say we have a friend. My husband has a friend coming to stay Saturday. He arrives Saturday. So I need to get the spare room next door, the guest room. I need to get the bed made. I've stripped it. I just need to put a new duvet cover on, a new bed sheet. Yeah. I also did not get selected for Glasgow School of Yarn to vend there this year, which is fine. I've never applied for a yarn show before, and I had this big plan that I was going to make loads of project bags and start pushing my products to like yarny people, but yeah, that gave me a little bit of a knockback as well. But I haven't applied to anything like that before, so I didn't expect to get in. And they did say that this year was the year of the bag off. So if you were a bag producer, then there were lots of us applying, because they haven't really had a like one stall just selling project bags and things like that, or notions and things. So there was clearly a gap for that, and people tried to fill it and there was too many of us. But that's okay. I will try again. I still want to make project bags though, because my friends keep telling me, you've got really nice bags. And I want to make more of these with the wire frame in them. You can tell it's mine because I put my label on it. There's my label. So I have two sets of frames because I've found some fabric that I want for me. So I want to practice again and make those two for me. So I've got a couple more. And then once I'm confident with that, I'll buy loads more of the frames and I'll make loads more. But until then, I'll make some with the zips, because I haven't made project bags for some time now, actually. I keep buying them. And my friends keep saying to me, you don't need to buy them because you can make them. And they're right. But everyone does different styles and everyone has different fabric choices. And I am a magpie. So that's me. That is my roundup for March. It seemed to get pretty heavy there at the end, didn't it? Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up there. And I will see you all next month. I mean, obviously there are videos in between that I share. And sometimes I finish a Toft project and that gets its own video. At the minute, I am trying to continue with Whip Wednesdays. So I will post a short every Wednesday. I haven't done the last couple because I think for 1 week I was only working on one project, which is probably this one. So for, yeah, the week after EAYF, I only worked on this. The week after that, I only worked on the granny square blanket, and I figured, what's the point of making a short if I've only got one project to share? So one did go up this week. So I will see you all next month. Take care. Bye.